My name is Arturo Giamuniani, and I'm the president of Argent Homes.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Modern Homes podcast. It's every Thursday at 2 p.m. It's brought to you by Argent Homes. Argent Homes is Tampa Bay modern home luxury builder. This podcast today is going to be all about modern construction. We're joined here by Art and Eddie. Thank you guys. Welcome.
We have a new guest.
Yeah, we got a new
in the
face on the
podcast.
on the
His
podcast.
name is Eddie Soto.
How you doing?
Eddie
Hi.
Soto.
Soto. Okay, I gotta use my Spanish accent.
Yeah. Well, welcome here.
For
I'm
you that
excited
you
to
don't,
have
you don't basically know Eddie. Eddie is our senior construction manager. He joined us a couple of months ago, and before we even go into modern architecture, modern homes, perhaps you will, share with the audience some of the accomplishments that you have done in the past.
Well, how you doing? I'm Eddie Soto. I'm glad to be part of the Argent Homes team. A little bit about myself. I've been doing construction, I'm going to say about 22 plus years.
And he's only 23, so I just figured it out. What's the difference?
I'm 25. I have a degree in engineering. I have a degree in architectural design. Basically, this is the only job that I can say I've taken to super liking. I've got a vast knowledge in multiple sides of engineering as well as architectural, everything from industrial to commercial to luxury and retail space. I've worked with projects from American Dream to industrial oil refineries in Texas to overseas projects with helicopter decks and specialty projects. So I'm glad to be a part of the team and hopefully bring some of my experience on board and take Argent Homes' vision to the next level. Hopefully that's my goal.
We value your experience, obviously, which is good for all of us and also is good for the growth of Argent Homes, especially because we are at the level right now in Tampa that we have a name built up through the years as a luxury modern home builder, and we're trying to maintain that designation, if you call it. But also, we need to maintain the level of the quality of construction
and push it forward to the next level. And I think Eddie has been a great addition since he started working here with us. He's been putting a lot of input, a lot of great input. He has a lot of knowledge. We've been going to the field, and we have been talking to a lot of the subs and trying to push them to do better than what they're already doing, but also educate them in a way from an engineer and an architect perspective, that's what Eddie's background is. So they understand the building science behind it, which we talked about for multiple times. That is very important for us. So thank you, Eddie, for doing that.
He captured, I guess, our dream. He captured our vision, and he's put it into work. Which leads me to say also that since Eddie is present, what we like to do with this podcast is obviously have a mix of studio podcast and project podcast, field podcast, if you will, where these two gentlemen here are going to go. Perhaps I want to be there also, but especially them talking to subs, showing, and that's the important thing is what we wanted to do is just to show our followers that in construction, everybody knows that when the house is done, the only thing you see is the wall, but you don't know what's behind the wall, right? So it can be nothing, or it can be doing it the right way, build the right way. So we're gonna show you the behind the scenes construction, the behind the scenes, how these hopefully we can go there. There's subs working. We can talk to them to see how they are doing stuff, what kind of tools they use, what kind of materials they use. You give them the knowledge about our followers on what is it that Argent Homes does perhaps different than other builders.
It's going to be a little bit more technical.
It's going to be more technical because people are going to have the chance to see on site what is it that we do, how do we build a home. So you know, appreciate more the value of our homes after you see that we put a lot of emphasis on quality, not only with what you see, but what you don't see.
Correct.
Hmm?
Correct.
Again, we're going to do that in the future since we have multiple projects in different parts of the Bay Area. We can take maybe one project or two projects at a time and show the audience on the podcast, and perhaps try to introduce some of the the vendors that we have, some of the subs.
Correct. Yeah.
It would be nice if we do a podcast when we have the AC guy or the electrician,
Yeah.
so you can see how he does his work behind the walls. The AC guy, how he does his work. Sometimes it's hidden. I
Correct.
mean, yeah, we're going to a room, it's air conditioned, yeah, but what is behind that air?
And there is a lot of different ways of doing AC and doing mechanical. Everybody has their way, right? But then there's also a correct way where you're doing the installations that we're doing, and Eddie's very familiar with that. As far as when we were doing spray foam insulation, it tied in the house, and then we need to get fresh air systems and dehumidifiers and different things like that. And people don't really have the knowledge, which is understandable, but also they don't see it because it's behind the walls. So these things you need to be
Yeah.
educated about. As far as like when you're looking for a house, a modern house, you need to ask these questions. But like, okay, what is behind this? Do you have fresh air intake system, or we don't? But we understand from a person that doesn't build houses, they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, but also, yeah, behind the scenes is one thing, but also, even if it is not behind the scenes, you're looking at the window, we need to talk about that window specifically. What kind of window is this? You know,
We spend 3 hours yesterday on
Just-
site,
yeah.
going to like every single little
Every
detail.
single window, checking rough openings, determining the accurate sites so that our sight lines all match from the outside. It's not just about what type of window, but it's also what your visual aesthetics are. So
and I guarantee you guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, I guarantee you, whoever is watching us, and also, if you have ever thought about buying a home, when you go into a finished home, you see the window and you think, oh, that's the window. But, people
There's
don't have any idea what's behind
so
the,
much more.
Yeah,
There's so
there's-
much more behind that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The logistics is behind putting a window in the house.
Especially when you come to modern houses that what we're building at Argent Homes, when they're like wall to wall, floor to ceiling, you don't have any play, right? So there's no room for error. You need to make things work. As far as you got two block walls, I cannot give you a bigger rough opening because they're between two columns, and we need to get it
Precise.
very precise.
I mean, precise where a person won't understand that we may only have a quarter of inch of play on each side. And not just that, but people don't take in consideration some of these windows that are all full of glass may weigh 6, 7, 800 pounds
a piece.
a piece.
Yeah,
And when you've got 3 or 4 pieces together, you've got to not only determining your design, but you've got to prep the area for what kind of equipment you're going to need.
the logistics.
So
the
it's not just
deliveries.
about, hey, let me order a window that's 6 feet wide by 20 feet high, or whatever you decide. It's also determining what the weight are, what are they built from? Are they manageable? It's also the logistics end. Do we have the right equipment to put them in place without damaging windows or damaging any other structure of the house? Because then what's the point when you do it the sloppy way?
Yeah.
And I've noticed that working with Argent Homes, the few months I've been here, you guys do take the extra care or extra courtesy to make sure that things are done right.
And that will
So
set us,
that's a big plus.
That will set us apart for the our builder friends in the area. Like you said, something about the floor to ceiling window. There is a way that some builders do it just to get away with installing, which is maybe small windows.
Yeah,
and transoms in between.
yeah, but doing that doesn't give you a
The
modern.
aesthetics is different.
Correct.
So
Correct.
what I was trying to say, the point is like we go the extra mile as far as quality and luxury in trying to, maybe we can get away too with putting, instead of a 20 feet, 20-foot window, we can put, 5 4-foot windows,
Yeah, that's
That's
not
not
the
going to look the
point.
same.
Yeah.
It's not going to look the
Correct.
same.
Correct.
So
correct.
it will look like we are trying to cut corners on
Correct.
window, and the house is not going to look the same. The house will look more luxury when you see just one piece.
Well, I can give you an example. when you have a window that size and you break it down into smaller pieces, take for instance, generally in a home, the wife for the most part is home almost all day if she doesn't work, and the husband's the one that works. So if you have the wife in the kitchen, or and she's cooking something up or whatever she wants to do, or getting a meal ready for the kids, and she wants to look out the window, do you think she's going to be happy looking out of a window where she's got no obstructions on like vertical mullions or whatever the case is? Yeah, I would want to have the windows big as possible so I can see outside. I can see that beautiful lake view, but I've noticed that even in some of the areas where Argent Home owns property and we're developing these gorgeous homes, as I drive by and I see other builders that say they're building modern homes, they're not following even the general aesthetics of what a modern home is.
Like a flat roof.
Yeah. Modern homes have flat roofs. They're straight edges. They're as clean as possible. You've got hidden drains. You've got, those are the things that I've noticed that Argent Homes takes like to the extra mile.
And to get there, there's a lot of planning. There's a lot of education to the subs as well, because not everybody requires it. So therefore, these subs are not used to it, right? So we're there with the subs, telling them at different points and different things, and coming up with details upon details upon details, trying to achieve that like streamlines of roof lines, making sure the drainage works, making sure we don't have gutters and things of that nature.
That leads me to whoever audience is watching us, and even in prior podcasts that we talk about luxury. Um, we have in our team, we have people there that are specialized in modern construction. We know, we all know that subs out there, they might be great craftsmanships, but sometimes it's hard for them to understand the modern construction. What it has to be done in order to make a look that is modern. So there's a combination of having a great, let me pick any trade, a great electrician or a great mechanical guy. We will tell them exactly what needs to be done, because they may be very well being used about the traditional architecture where it's completely different than modern. And they're great people, great workers, very dedicated, but they don't perhaps have the knowledge of the modern world.
Correct.
So we here are kind of the quarterbacks in the company, trying to teach our crews to adapt themselves to our type of luxury. Correct. And we have done, these two gentlemen have done a great job about it. It takes some time, because it's like going to school again. Some people refuse because nobody wants to make the change.
Well, and that's another thing that maybe a lot of the followers or buyers or whoever it may be that may be purchasing a home, let it be the direct purchaser, an investor, a realtor, they may not understand the construction per se, and they're just looking at, say, a beautiful rendering. But like you said earlier, I use that as an example. We'll bring an electrician in and we want modern. So our face plates, you don't see screws on them. They're as clean as possible. They're flush. We try to keep, you brought up a good point with the AC. We'll try to do linear vents where it looks better than these 12 by 12 or 12 by 24, whatever the size is, these massive vents, which you find now. But it's like what we're doing. We're trying to find the subs we're using. We're training them to what modern really is, because it's a learning curve. 5 years ago, you mentioned modern and people looked at you like, what is that?
And we have that,
and even till today, when being that modern thing it's the hot thing right now. Modern homes is the hot style that everybody's looking for. A lot of these buyers are out of state. A lot of these buyers may be out of country, but it's the design, it's the style, it's what everybody wants. But when you show them our modern homes compared to maybe another builder, and I'm not trying to talk negative to any builder, but let's keep it realistic, they're not defining their home based on true modern.
Because they build not only modern, they build maybe any type of architecture because
Correct,
they're
correct.
builders.
Because but that's because also that's what they've been doing for the past 20 years.
Exactly.
So you guys have a jump on the curve. You guys have already been doing this 5, 6, 7, 8 years or whatever your time frame is into modern. You have that jump in the entire Tampa Bay area. So you guys have a huge advantage. Why? Because you're building them, you got the experience, you know where you had faults at as far as working with subs and training them to have the modern home built to our design and specs. And now when we're turning around and having these turnkey homes built and done, they look amazing. I mean,
Well, basically,
amazing.
what I wanted to do is, and I would like to tell you guys, when you go into the next few podcasts, I would like to see is going into a project. Let's keep the electrician
Okay.
example.
Okay.
So you can go to a project where the electrician is in his first phase.
Yeah.
But then obviously, then you talk about the electric work in the first phase, and then you go to a house where he's completed. Okay, you just take one wall for instance, and then you see, okay, what does he do behind the walls?
Yeah.
And this is the finished product. And the same thing with the mechanical and plumbing. Plumbing is essential. You see a bathroom, beautiful bathroom. What's
Super.
behind? What's
Super.
behind that
Super.
tile?
And I like that idea because a lot of different houses have different things, right? For example, we're doing houses with light control systems, and there's a lot of wires behind the wall, and we understand it. But there's multiple different other panels to make sure that the light control system is managed, and you can manage with your phone and things of that nature. So there's a lot of different. Yeah, it's electrical, but it's completely different.
Correct. Correct.
It's
And
completely different.
Well, it's
Not
wired.
the
It's
traditional
wired
one, yes.
different.
Yeah.
It's not wired
It's
the
just-
same. It's wired differently, and things are
Correct.
completely different.
But
Correct.
even plumbing, it's super important.
Well, I mean, now that you bring up plumbing, you may have at RJ Homes, you may have a primary bathroom that may have we have a steam valve or whatever the fixtures we use, but we may have a wall that may have 8 fixtures on it. We may have sprayers, body sprayers. We may have water drops down from the ceiling.
Yeah, rain
these
showers.
are the items that a lot of the potential home buyers don't really understand because it's something that they're not used to.
And computerized on top of it.
Oh, on top of that,
It's all digital.
it's all digital.
So taking it from where you're talking about, all these needs to be. You need to do calculations behind it. So all these calculations to make sure the body jets are working at the full capacity that they're designed to. We need to make sure to get enough water to that. And if we're doing multiple fixtures, like let's say the tub being filled, but you also want to use the jet and the rain shower, and that's the beauty of the bathroom, is literally turning all the fixtures in at one time, and you're just like in a car wash basically, which is amazing. But to make sure all this is done, we need to be working with the mechanical, the MEP engineer. We're going back and forward with the specs, but also having all these specs ready from a design perspective. Mr. Engineer, I'm going to have 8 jets in this little bathroom, and if I turn it all on, we need to get a lot of power, a lot of water to it.
And again, that's what sets you guys apart, because you guys have an advantage over any other builder. Why? Because you guys have been testing these, you've been installing them, you know how they work, and hey, MEP engineer, we've got 7 bathrooms in this home. Is our main line coming in size adequate enough?
Correct.
We've got 4 heaters. Are we choking the heaters water, because of the lack of water? So, we at Argent Homes here, and again, I've been here a few months, I've noticed that we do go the extra mile. We talk to the MEP engineers. We send him all our fixture layouts. We send them all our electrical items, because in order for you to accurately determine load on a panel or loads or say water loss or whatever, water pressure, they need all that information. But a lot of these other builders don't have half that information, so they're playing the guessing game. We don't have the opportunity to do the guessing game.
Another thing that we're doing is preventive stuff. So
Correct.
right, so we have, like, for example, 4 water heaters, and we connect them into relays and stuff like that. So even if one water heater stops working, you got 3 others that are pumping hot water.
Correct.
So we connecting stuff in a way that even if you have a point of failure, if something happened and it fails, you're not gonna run out of water, hot water over the weekend. You're like you're calling plumbers
Correct.
left and right.
Correct.
You have multiple stages.
That is the reason that maybe when I have taken people to some of our projects, potential buyers, and even realtors, and of course, let's take somebody out of town. They come in and they want to see some modern homes, and they have our product, and then they have more appointments to see, more houses to see, and then I always say the same thing. Listen, why don't you go out and see what's available, and then compare. Compare because I show you the quality. Now, see what is out there for the same price, and see if it matches our quality. And I would say 9.9 out of 10.
They come back.
And the only way maybe they come back because they cannot, unfortunately, their budget is not there, but they see the quality. The quality can be smelled, not just seen.
Listen,
Okay,
I
and
guarantee
the cheap quality can be smelled as well when you walk into a house. And if you have seen open houses, you go into models and stuff like that, you can tell that this is cheap or this is quality.
100% I agree with you. I mean,
And
perfect
that's-
example is when we come in, we go back to the windows. We make sure all our windows are plumbed and they're leveled and they're the same distance from the center, from the outside of the wall or from the inside of the wall, but we hold that as a tight tolerance. Why? Because aesthetically, a buyer may not see a half-inch difference
Yeah, at the beginning,
but
3 years later, maybe
as
we
Argent
do.
Homes,
Yeah,
we do. We do. So we hold it to a higher tolerance. So where the manufacturer might say we only need a half-inch gap, no, we're going to work with a quarter. Why? Because it's a less area of failure.
Correct.
The tighter you can get these tolerances or these gaps, obviously the better you're going to be for multiple things: noise, wind, ceiling, adding back a rod, and whatever the case that we decide. Tile, we take that in consideration for returns. Are we going to 45 the edges on both sides? Yes. Why? Because then you see a clean tile as if it's a single piece, versus a lot of these other builders that they just overlay one tile with another, or they add schluters everywhere. Sometimes a schluter is not the answer. Sometimes you have to go the extra mile, like Argent Home does with the tile. They 45 and bevel them and get them to sit. I mean, I've seen some of the tile work and I was impressed. I was like, wow. I said, whoever your tile guy is, he's doing a magnificent job.
Obviously, we don't really try to cut corners in everything that we do. Never that's the case. A lot of people look at the bottom line as far as their gross income. Any builder looks at obviously it's financial. We're doing a business, but when you put money before quality, your name is not going to be appreciated.
Correct.
And you know what? The funny thing is, as a builder, and I have shown property, and because I tell realtors, when they come in, because some realtors, a lot of agents don't even know about new construction, but especially luxury modern homes. There is not too many, so they're limited to their knowledge to show and answer questions. So I offer myself to go with them and show them the quality. But the funny thing is, I can tell you if the client is going to buy a house or not before they even have a contract.
Probably, the questions they ask,
There's
what
no
they
question.
look
It's
at.
no question. It's about the wow effect.
Got it.
The wow effect is important. When somebody pulls into a house and they see a 20-foot front door that opens up,
Oh, I'll say super wow.
that's wow.
Yeah.
20 feet. Okay. Where do you get inside? Then they go to the kitchen and the prep kitchen.
Massive
right?
cabinets.
Not only massive cabinets, European cabinets. Okay. The quality is there. And they open up drawers and they go, and especially the wives, they say, "Oh my God, look at this! Wow, that's two." Then they go to the primary suite, and now we got three wows combined into one. Okay, we got the closet wow, because and you're gonna see how we build closets. Okay, you're gonna see it. So they go wow for his and hers, whatever. But they see the bathroom and another wow with all of these jets coming in, like you mentioned, and then they see the space on the bedroom itself with the morning bar, sitting area. And every time we design a house, we think like it is for him, for me, for him. We look at the design like it's for us. So, and we know what people like. It's not like we put in plans and we said, okay, we're gonna build this house and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do it 300 times. No, only once.
Correct.
So we take those plans, we give it to the buyer, and then if we go into a new project, we need to have a new design. And again, everything goes back to what are we gonna do here? What features can we? And every house has a different feature. As a feature like maybe a two-story wine cooler, maybe cigar room, maybe a movie theater type of situation. Use it as a flex room. The outdoor cabana, the outdoor kitchen. So we have so many ammunitions in our arsenal in order to make things different for buyers that people appreciate that.
I
Okay,
agree.
so
I
that
agree.
that wow, before they go in on the kitchen and upstairs or downstairs because it's a primary suite. For me, it's like,
I mean,
what are you gonna put the checkbook?
correct.
It's just done. It's done.
The way I look at it, I've seen some of the homes we've gone with Lath. We've visited some of the homes that are currently under construction. Some of the ones that are almost done, and our home is like a package. It's almost as if you move in and you don't even have to leave the house because all your amenities are there. You got a gorgeous pool, a spa. You may have a gym inside your home. You have an office. I mean,
It's a compound.
it's a compound. It's a multi-use home where you have your kids have the space to run around in the 3, 4, 5 acre lots. They're safe. These houses are being built in places where I'm like, wow, you get the wow effect just when you come into the community.
You can get them a pony as well.
Yeah, you can get them a horse in some of these, with the size
He's a
of
horse trainer.
Oh, that's good. Well,
He can make extra money in the weekends.
not me. I'll go watch the horses run, maybe, but you won't catch me on a horse.
Yeah, I know, and people appreciate that. They definitely, in today's market, it's difficult to find a luxury modern home on 3 acres of land,
Correct.
Built by the builder.
Yeah, but you can't.
It's just spec, and I think
Correct.
this is one of the advantages that we have is some of the clients that we get, they don't want to go through building a custom home, going through finding an architect, finding a builder, managing that whole situation, waiting for 2 years. With us, it's like, okay, we already designed a beautiful home that is one of one, and we're already building it, right?
Correct.
And then they come in and we're like, already, I want it. Well, it might be done in 6 months, or it might be already like coming in a month. So then they can pull the trigger and move right away. It's not they're gonna be like dealing with all that baggage and try to become very educated about the building process because it is hard. It takes professionals to do this. It's not.
Well, I mean, you point out a good thing. We're not building cookie cutter homes where,
No.
again, in a cookie cutter home as a developer, and again, I'm not trying to talk negative about other developers, but I'm just trying to point a difference of quality of work. When you build a cookie cutter home, you use one plan and you build 10 in that community that are lefts, then you build another 10 that are rights.
Yeah.
And people may not understand that, but you go in the street and the door may be on the left side on this home, but it looks similar to that. But that's because then they
It's
mirror
just
the
mirrored,
plans over,
Yeah.
and now they give you a right.
Correct.
Fine, it works for them, but
obviously
then how are
everything
you
has-
different? Like
And
if you shut all the lights off in
Yeah.
that street and you send somebody there, you can
Yeah.
walk into any house
You
and they're all the
walk
same.
in the wrong house.
no, obviously
Correct.
there's big difference between what we're doing and obviously there's shortage of houses and people get to build, right? Developers are building, and also they're building and they're buying acres of land and developing communities. So there's need for both.
Correct.
I do still believe the quality needs to be better from all builders and from everybody. You need to hold a higher standard. But we're building houses that are extremely, extremely thought of from a building science and from a design, in my opinion.
And not to mention that we only build a house. But let me add another twist to this conversation, in which we had experience with buyers saying, "My goodness, your houses are unbelievable. and we have renderings, high definition renderings, with furniture in there, right?
And they want it.
No, no, but the funny thing is, there are renderings and there are renderings. Okay, most of the day-to-day renderings that you see, they just pull images of things and they put them in there, and hopefully they can match some sort of the color or whatever. But our renderings, the furniture is in our renderings. It can be a couch, it can be a bed, it can be a table, it can be chairs, whatever it is, can be located.
Correct. Because
It can be
everything.
purchased.
Correct.
So when people say, "Oh my goodness, I love this house, but I don't have this type of furniture," what I say, well, look, if you're serious about this house, I can, we can buy the furniture, order the furniture 6 months before CO. So you're moving with your clothes because the furniture is going to be there. It's going to look exactly how you, but well, most of it.
I mean, we can at this point we can get them a personal shopper at the house waiting for them, so they can have the clothes in there too.
Well, again, but
Yeah,
but
the dreams are unlimited with us.
correct.
You know,
But that's something I've only noticed with Argent Homes. I'm being realistic. Based on my experience of working with multiple contractors or even developers, whether it's a $1 million project or a $1 billion project, you guys do build the homes with realistic things, meaning things that are there, not, well, let's draw this and change the color from blue to pink, but manufacturer only gets it in blue. You guys go the extra mile and you provide the renderings with realistic items. Say, hey, you like it? We can get you every single thing in this rendering down to the
it's very
to the
personal.
T.
It's very
Yes.
personal.
Yes.
More personal than commercial.
Yes.
Way of approaching things. To be
Yes.
honest with you.
Yes. You guys approach the project on like a 1-by-1 basis, that's hard to find.
well, that leads me
hard
to
to
this
find.
too. I mean, it's funny though, but I have to add this because there's a lot of people out there. They like the way we build homes. They might not like the location that we have it because maybe it's too far from them, and they want to be in certain parts of the bay,
Mm-hmm.
or they would like to have a different, front elevation, for instance, right? So they contact us, or they might own a lot. So a lot of people actually are calling us, and they said, have a lot by a lake. I got 3 acres, and I want to build here. Okay. What's my price per square feet? I said, I don't have a price per square feet. She says, why? Well, I called Joe and I called Ricky and I called Mikey, and they all give me a price per square feet. Why not you? Well, because I don't know what you want.
Exactly.
So basically, and that will give you the idea that we are not going to just to build the house and God bless you and good luck. No, we hold meetings with these people. Like we need to know each other. And most us, we need to know what they want, what they wish,
Mm-hmm.
and what they may have in that home. So
Correct.
tell me what you want.
It's like you get personal with the potential buyer, which is a big thing because you're not going to get that from other developers. Why? Because they're too busy trying to get 30 houses built in a community. Whereas as for at Argent Homes, you guys get personal. What are your kids like? Is there certain activities they like? And you kind of have a little bit of wiggle room in certain areas in the build where you can maybe do, like you said earlier, a movie room for the kids, and you have your 100% family time. But those are things you guys introduce that gives it that Argent's personal touch, which you're not finding. You're just not getting that with other developers.
That's a part of the discovery meaning where it becomes not only about the house but also your lifestyle. Do you like tennis? What do you like? Like what are we talking about? Do you like to go out for a drive and go to the restaurant close by? We have lots in different areas, but also is like if you're very into technology, there's also we can put more technology in the houses. If you're more into if you're a chef and you really like cooking, we can do like a commercial type kitchen as well.
Correct. You can do your primary kitchen, which is your family kitchen. Then you have your chef's kitchen, which we have in some of our property, which is it's a huge win-win.
That's a lifestyle conversation more than a build conversation, because 100%. As a builder you also bring in ideas to your clients. There might be something that they would love but they haven't thought about, and they don't understand if they can even get it. And when they tell us about their lifestyle, we're like, oh, we can make it happen in this way.
So now When they get to that point, then obviously whatever they have done with Mikey, Ricky, and Robert,
That goes out the window.
it goes out the
Yeah,
window
they
because
forget. They
they
forget.
they have a 4 bedroom, 4 bathroom with a kitchen
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
a family room, living room, and a pool. Is that the dream home? Is that what they want? Is that what they wish? Now, to add a little more, they start adding things. When we ask them about, oh, what are your wishes? Oh, I would like to have, yeah, I would like to have a cigar room, obviously, and this and that and the other. So the more they get into this, their imagination goes wild. But no, listen. And then obviously we give them a price. And sometimes the price is, wow, okay, but what can you do to make it better? And I ask the question back, what would you live without that I can reduce my budget?
Mhm.
So when you're asking about what's your price per square feet, you hold the key to the price per square feet.
Correct,
Because
because
you want, tell me what you want. I
Yeah.
give you my
Yeah.
price. Tell me that it's too, if it's too much. What would you like to me to take out
Correct.
so I can arrange and modify my budget? But you hold the key to the price. Not
correct.
I give you 500 and you think that you're going to have everything for 500. It's not going to happen. There is a lot of upgrades.
Correct.
There's a lot of things that the builder will not tell you
Yeah,
that it's going to
there's-
come at the end. And then if you don't have the money at the end, what happened? Okay. So with us, it's like everything is there.
It's something that obviously when we go to the field, we're gonna film and they're gonna see. When we do a pool, we're not talking about only a pool. We're building like a little paradise in the backyard,
Are we?
for example. No, seriously. I mean, like
Yeah.
we're like, I give you an example about trees. Like we're doing mature trees. We're
Yeah.
doing like trees that are 15 years old that you need to bring with machines and stuff like that, versus like just, hey, I got a tree in the back. We're very
A
careful
newborn tree,
about
yeah.
what we're selecting. Very mature trees. We're doing different things, pergolas, outdoor kitchen, and a pool. Yeah, you can say a pool is a pool, but no, not really.
Not
Like
necessarily.
I can get into very detailed about different drains, different jets, different
Correct.
equipment, different things.
Different type of tile, different look.
Completely different. So you can build a pool for
Glass,
$50,000
railings, yeah.
or $350,000.
Even more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different packages can be completely different.
Mhm.
And we're gonna show that on camera in different episodes where we walk it. It's gonna be fun.
So that is the goal for future podcast. I know that we're getting a little close to, we're getting short on the time that we got left. But the idea is for our followers that all these people that follow us, they might be also people that are looking to see what we do before they pull the trigger in a way.
Correct.
And people will appreciate that what we are going to do for them is to show them the kind of quality that we do and we have.
And also they might not be even in here. They might be in Colorado and they're building their house in Colorado. I hope they can get some ideas and hold
course.
whoever's building their house in there
Accountable for that kind of
to
design.
different things as
Yeah.
far as an educational part of this as well.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
do we have a lot more time or what? We're okay? We're okay. My producer tells me we're okay, so we're okay.
Gotta follow the
Well,
producer.
I want to talk a little
producer.
bit more about Eddie. Obviously, one of the cool things, in my opinion, that he has done in the past is the helipads, and I've talked to him about that because I enjoy flying and things that he have traveled the world building helipads all over.
Everywhere: Singapore, Malaysia, China, Dubai. I mean, literally all over the Middle East. Helicopter pads on rigs, on platforms, on rooftops for hospitals in Mexico. I've kind of met all sorts of great people, but with that meeting them, I also learn a lot from them, what their expectations are for
Mhm.
certain things, and it may not even be about the helicopter pads, but again, I like to get personal with say a client, because once you understand the person, it makes your life so much easier, because you kind of know, okay, well, I kind of spoke to him and I know he doesn't like red, so I'm not going to introduce something red in the house. Or
Yeah.
I spoke to or overheard the wife say, oh man, I like massive windows. So now I know when we design our home, we ain't going to do these small transoms or a 3-footer and a 5-footer and a 3-footer,
Yeah.
because that to me drives me crazy. We're not playing tic-tac-toe in these
Yeah.
houses where these windows end up
That
being.
looks awful. Yeah.
It just doesn't, maybe to another builder looks great, but then again, it falls
To
back
the
to
podcast.
correct,
So
correct.
that's another thing. Now we can do helipads on top of the houses if you're interested.
Yeah, but yeah, of course. You need to
If
build
the
a
city
home
allows it.
away from the city because no one's going to allow you like helipad in South Tampa. You're going to have issues. But yes, I mean, there's people right now in North Tampa that are building homes with helipads. Yes. And in the country, sometimes in the outskirts, you can build them if you have a helicopter. Obviously, if you can build a helicopter
When
pad,
you
you
got a
build a
helipad,
helicopter.
the helicopter just show up. I don't know.
Yeah, by the grace of God. Anyways,
It's like the Batman light. You turn on the Batman light, and Batman shows up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically what we'll do.
But eventually, this is going to get exciting. It's going to be very exciting because now we're not just going to be talking. Sometimes it's going to be boring, but people appreciate also the talking because it's a way to explain things. But now, instead of talking with our mouth, we're going to be showing you what we do, and we're going to be on location doing this podcast and showing you many items that we install, things that we build, tiles, kitchen cabinetry, countertops, even paint, stucco, anything that goes in the house. So it's a way to know and appreciate the quality. So we can, anybody can say, I'm a luxury, whatever. I'm a luxury. But the word luxury has a lot of weight
Oh yeah,
in anything that you do. Luxury cars, okay. What's a luxury car? Well, I don't want to talk about brands, but we all know what a luxury car is. We expect that when you put the word luxury in front of anything that you do, we expect quality, not only just a high price. Also, people say, "Oh, if it's luxury, it's expensive." No, if it's luxury, it's luxury. Obviously, it's going to be more expensive than something that's not luxury, right?
correct.
But we need to show what's luxury
Correct.
to them.
Oh,
So when it comes into the price tag, they're gonna say, "Oh, okay, I get it because I saw you and I saw you."
Yeah,
going
it's
up."
actually inexpensive. What are you getting?
correct. Well, I mean, you got to look at it this way. Luxury to them could just mean, hey, you're putting in $100 tile or a $5 tile. But in reality, there's more to that because in the process of building that $100 square foot floor, you got to make sure that you're holding the subs
The
accountable
laborers, right?
and the
Yeah.
laborers for doing it correctly, where you're gonna you're gonna trowel it correctly based on the manufacturer specs, plus then our Gen Home spec where
Well, let me put it this way: if you put $100 tile and the floor is uneven, or
Oh,
you
you
put a
have a-
$100 tile and the walls are uneven, you look at the walls, you look at the floor, and you don't even pay attention to $100 tile. You look
You
at
won't know.
who built this house. I mean, who
Correct.
was
Yeah.
them? These people are not professionals. And yes, you got a $100 tile, but you think they're gonna look at the $100 tile?
Nope.
No, they look at the wall. Oh my goodness, look at the wall.
correct, and
so
then
it's better to have $100 wall and $5 tile because
Correct.
we look like we're doing things right.
correct.
Not that we do that, but
Well, and again,
It's
and-
gotta be a combination of different
it,
things.
it has,
gotta
it
be a
has to make
combination.
sense.
And everything gotta be working correctly. The material gotta be high quality, good tile, and then you got the labor needs to be educated and
Mhm.
done correctly. If you have good material, bad labor, it's bad. And if you got bad material, good labor, it's bad as well. It gotta be a combination of both.
which is great because, like I said, at Argent Homes, we are going the extra mile to make sure that we are selecting the right fixtures or the
Trades,
right outlets or the right tile or whatever. But on top of that, we're also selecting the right installers because what are we doing? We're going to some of their job sites that they're built.
Yeah.
Even we were even requesting, hey, do you have a job site that you've done that's over a year old?
We're gonna see.
Very good.
Because why? Everything may look good the first few months. You may not see something till after a year and a half. So we go the extra mile and ask them, hey, you mind if we go to a project that you've already done that's over a year old? Why? Because then that's when you start to see true conditions as to what their work is really about.
Yeah.
And also, we need to. I just sometimes I don't understand where some of my colleagues they don't pay attention to the future and just they pay attention to the day to day and the income today. But you need to pay attention to the future because of one thing. If you build something that is not quality, or you build something just to get away with and close very quickly, and then get your money and move into the next project, that is karma. That's going to come back and haunt you one day, because sooner or later, if whatever it is that you build and is not built correctly, it's going to come back at you.
Oh,
And then you have to
100%.
make repairs. You have to go back and spend time and money trying to repair something that you built, and you didn't check it correctly, or you thought that you would get away. Maybe you got away with the first year, but something's going to happen after that, and your name is also trash. And then everything collapses. Your reputation, your name, how people are going to look at you, and obviously future sales.
Yeah, I heard. What when you built this
But
nice
if you do
house?
things
Correct.
right,
Correct.
people are going to be talking about the stuff that you do for them. Like I always say, when we close on a deal, and you were present sometimes in some of the closing, I give my personal card to the buyers. I said, look, if you got a problem, if it's a Saturday, call me. I might not get somebody right away on Saturday because it's a Saturday, but I definitely going to get you somebody to resolve the problem, because that we take that in consideration, and this for me is priority. These people need to be happy. I give you an example. Tell a little story. We sold, a house back in 2018. Modern home, South Tampa, sprinkler systems, beautiful home. We got a call about 2 months ago that one of the sprinkler heads was broken. So we're looking at about a 5-year home that the sprinkler system works almost every day. But for some reason, the sprinkler head, one of the sprinkler heads was broken. Definitely, if you talk to another any builder in town, they're going to say, sorry, go and fix it. What did we do? They send the sprinkler contractor to the guy's home, and we fix it and we didn't charge. It was kind of a
customer service.
Customer service.
Yeah,
Well, and that's great, because you're not only building the homes according to a higher standard, but you're also following through. If it just, we're all human. We're all human. We're liable for mistakes here and there. Subs are liable for mistakes here and there. You can never always catch everything, but you guys are holding yourself accountable for even things that are even above and beyond your scope of what you need to provide. Again, that's perfect example.
Because that is not thinking about the business.
Correct. You're
It's not
thinking
thinking
about the
making
customer.
money. Oh, I'm going to send somebody there. It's going to cost me $200 plus whatever labor.
Correct.
And it's going to be an expense. And the house is closed 5 years ago. Okay, what is $200, guys? Or $300?
Nothing.
When you make somebody happy, and
Correct.
that person knows that you're behind your product.
Correct.
So, for me, it's marketing in a way. Okay, it's like let's go out there and fix it.
Yeah, but you 100% hit it on the nail. You're never gonna find that from I've been doing this for a long time, and I've worked for massive companies. After 1 year, they don't even want to pick up the phone. You know what I mean? And I always say, and I always argue, but that's not carrying your name. That's not giving yourself some kind of weight. That's not presenting yourself accordingly. But you guys here are going, way above and beyond, which is great. That's a team that I want to work with and I want to build with.
You realize a house. Let's talk about sales for a minute. A house cannot be sold as an asset or an item like anything else, like a car or like clothes or whatever, right? A house has when you have people living in there, people have a lot of feelings about the house.
It's personal.
So
it's very sentimental.
You can disconnect. By law, you can disconnect. By law, they say, listen, first year is on us, and then it's on you.
Correct.
And that's what everybody does. They disconnect.
100%.
Because the law says that I can't disconnect, I disconnect. Well, you know what? I said, forget about what the law says. If the guy has an emergency, I cannot tell him at that time that he has an emergency. Hey, by law, I don't have to do it. So right there, whatever we did right through construction and the closing and the first year, whatever we did right is forgotten. The only this person, the only thing he's going to remember that he got a sprinkler head that was broken and we refused to go and fix it.
Correct.
I mean, is that something that people should take care of it and keep up their reputation in the name?
100%.
Of course.
100%. But they don't.
Some people don't care.
They don't. Yeah.
They're thinking about their wallet today. That wallet today, it will save you $200. But that wallet tomorrow, it will maybe you may
lose 2,000,
Yeah.
200,000 because
doing the right thing when nobody's watching is still doing the right thing, and doing the wrong thing is when nobody's watching. It's still the wrong thing.
Correct.
So doing right by our people is the right thing to do always. That's
Mhm.
how we always saw it.
Which
So
is great.
how
Which
we
is
doing
great.
with time, man?
I
Okay.
think we're out of
We're
time. Yeah,
wrapping up in
wrapping
10
up.
minutes or less, right? Yeah. So, yeah, we got to make my producer happy.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Well, she's gonna fire all of us. That's probably what's gonna
next time
happen.
she's going to do the podcast.
She's gonna do the podcast.
Well, folks, basically what we're trying to do today was very. I appreciate this that you guys are coming. It was good that Eddie can join us as well. He got his suit on and everything.
He's-
Very professional.
he brought a black tie tuxedo.
A black tie tuxedo.
I mean,
Oh.
I didn't put the penguin suit on today, but I can.
But
It's not a
I
problem.
appreciate, we appreciate Eddie here at Adrian Homes. I think that he became very quickly a big asset for us. It will help us grow. It will help us take us also to the next level. And when I say the next level is obviously we will be doing in the future better things, not only more houses but better houses. Very innovative because we are innovators. Okay, whatever comes into the market, and that's one thing that we do. I mean, between Leigh and I, we used to look at other homes that actually that we can see on from LA or from Miami and modern, and we see some sophisticated items that it looks like wow, 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 right? So I said, let's do this wow, wow, wow here in Tampa, and like
And this is not only from LA, this is from overseas too.
from
Like I
overseas.
mean, we got these big doors and stuff like that. The really cool thing that I like about here, we're very flexible. There's no corporate structure that we need to go multiple approvals. It doesn't go behind this table. That's it. The decision's made. If we say something and that's what we like, all right, well, let's get it done.
If I get a good night's sleep, yeah,
yeah, if it comes from Brazil, whatever, get it.
wherever
You
it
know,
comes from.
yeah.
We
But not
do-
just that, but when you guys do say deal with these manufacturers from Brazil, you also deal with them on installation. Why? Because they're experiencing what they're doing, and you're not introducing an item here and then leaving it, 50%
Well,
done.
when we're talking about this, these items needs to be looked at by engineers and structural
Mhm.
engineers, and they need to sign off on it because some of these items needs to have obviously the floor, the product approval
Mhm.
stuff, and an engineer needs to review it and sometimes make an adjustments and make it work in here. And we go through a lot of stuff to get
Yeah.
to make sure we
But
have the
not only
latest
Brazil.
products.
It's not only Brazil. We get stuff from Turkey, Canada, Italy. Depends on the item. We
Yeah.
bring it from
Colombia.
the manufacturer. Colombia, we get some of the windows, all of the windows actually. So we don't care where it comes from. We only care that we are building a home that is unique.
Correct.
It's one of a kind. It's a piece of art, and we will make a family very happy with it. And hopefully also, one thing that we never actually talked about it, which is very important. Some people, when they buy a home, they're thinking, well, when I get old, I'm gonna have to sell this home because
It's too
going
big,
upstairs, my
yeah.
legs are not gonna make it, or whatever. So back, this is about a few years back. I said we cannot build homes, and it hurt me because look at me. It's going to happen to me soon, right? We got to be realistic. We got to be realistic. So we're going to build a beautiful home, and people can say, "Well, I love your home, but I'm 10 years away from retirement, and then what's going to happen to me? Then I'm going to have to sell it and buy a new house." So I said, "Let's make a house, and then don't have to sell it."
Mhm.
How?
It's your
Let's
forever
put
home.
an elevator.
Yeah, your forever home.
Elevator is like having a faucet, right now. I mean, it's a mandatory thing in every house that they have two stories. Obviously, they're going to put an elevator in one story, but elevator is a must. So what we're trying to do, to round it up, is to build a home for the buyer that, unless something happened in their life, they will stay there forever.
Mhm. It could be a pass me down home, which you don't find that nowadays because you're saying
Kids will never leave you.
people outgrow
Yeah.
the home based on design. These homes that we're designing are being designed for the future, meaning
Correct.
you could be there 10 years, 20 years, and the technology that you guys are implementing in these homes, you guys are already 5-10 years
Yeah,
ahead of
exactly.
other builders.
No,
So-
but some people
Yeah.
move because of jobs and job opportunities or family that they needed to move. But what I'm saying is somebody that actually wants a house to stay there for a long time, we need to make it accessible and make sure that these people enjoy the house as
Correct.
long as they want to live in there.
100%.
But we cannot make a house that they must live because they cannot live in there.
Yeah.
You know, that's basically what it is, folks. So thank you, Mr. Leith.
Thank you, Art, and thank you, Eddie.
Thank
And
you,
we're
Mr.
very, very
Eddie.
excited
Thank you,
for
guys.
you to join in here. And,
Eddie's actually
yeah.
from Puerto Rico.
Yep. Puerto Rico. I'm from New Jersey.
You
Born
were-
in New Jersey.
Oh, you're Puerto, so you're not from Puerto Rico. You're
My parents are Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican family. Good, great. I got a lot of Puerto Rican friends.
Well, again, this podcast is every Thursday, 2 to 3, live on Facebook and LinkedIn. It's also going to be on iTunes, Spotify. Again, it's brought to you by Argent Homes, Tampa Bay modern luxury home builder. And I want to thank everybody in here. I think this has been a great conversation, and we're going to bring it to the site. And I'm actually really excited for that.
Don't forget your hard hat, okay?
Yeah.
Everywhere we go.
Everywhere we go. Thank you. So thank you
Thank you,
for,
guys.
for joining us, and
See you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday.